Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. It'll be Tuesday when this gets posted.
Yes, it will be. The Tuesday after Thanksgiving.
The Tuesday after Thanksgiving.
Which
and what
means
will tomorrow's date be?
Tomorrow is the 27th.
Wow.
Yeah.
November's almost over. Where'd the year go?
Yeah,
It went that way.
pretty much.
Okay, so today we're going to cover what not to ask schizophrenics.
Or
Things
anyone with any real mental illness.
Yeah, we're going to go over a lot of really common questions that we've both gotten and other people with schizophrenia or mental disorder have gotten in. Apparently.
Gotten.
Thank you. Anyway, so what I did was I wrote up some of the most common questions and statements that I could think of that we get. And I also researched on the net, too, to see what other kind of questions I could notice being asked a lot. He's going to ask the questions, and I'm going to answer them. But first, I do want to explain a couple of things about schizophrenia. First of all, there's 5 different kinds. A lot of people only think there's one schizophrenia. There's 5. There's paranoid schizophrenia, which is the people that you commonly think of when you hear the word schizophrenia. The people who think other people are out to get them, or they have grandiose thoughts like they're God, or, there's somebody really famous, or they're associated with somebody really famous, or whatever. There's also disorganized, which is kind of like a catch-all for people who show different signs of different types of schizophrenia. But they don't all align with just one type, so they kind of throw them in disorganized. There's catatonic, which is almost the opposite of paranoid. Catatonics generally don't show emotion. They usually just talk kind of out of tone like this. They'll explain things that they know, but if you ask them how they're feeling, they probably won't have a logical answer. They're very apathetic. They're confused as being lazy, but really they just have no emotion, bad or good. And sometimes it's almost like they're frozen. Kind of like some catatonic patients will actually sit completely motionless or stand completely motionless for hours at a time. Do you know anything about catatonic schizophrenia?
I know nothing about it.
Okay. There's also residual schizophrenia, which I don't completely understand. I need to do more reading on residual schizophrenia, so I'm just going to leave it at that. And then there's mine, which is schizoaffective disorder, which is any form of schizophrenia, which in my case is mostly paranoid schizophrenia. I do tend to get apathetic sometimes. Flat emotions, what they call it, when I don't show any emotion. I've done that. I get like that a lot. Especially when I get so stressed that my mind can't take it anymore, it just shuts off. And I'm like that for a little while. I'll not really show any emotion. I'll just answer questions, and that's about it. Just like that. Anyway, schizophrenia, any form of schizophrenia and any sort of mood disorder, such as depression, bipolar, mania, whatever. In my case, it's bipolar. And in David's case, it's bipolar.
Yep.
You have anything you want to say?
Not really on this one, because this one I don't know a lot about.
Okay. Well, there's also 3 different classes of symptoms in schizophrenia. There's positive symptoms, which is deceptively named. They don't mean positive like, yay, everything's great and good and wonderful. No. They mean positive as in active. They are showing a lot of emotion. They're showing a lot of symptoms of paranoid or whatever form they have. Positive schizophrenia is most common in positive symptoms is most common in paranoid schizophrenia and schizoaffective disorder. let's see, there's negative, which is just the opposite of positive. Negative emotions is kind of like the catatonic schizophrenia, where they lack mood, they can't stick to plans, they socially withdraw completely, they're very apathetic, people will call them lazy. And then there's cognitive, which is anything to do with how smart or perceptive you are. They have a lack of attention. They can't pay attention. They can't focus. Like he was the other day during his psychotic episode.
Yep.
He was showing a cognitive symptom. They have a hard time setting and making and following through with goals. Like that's one of my problems is I have this tendency to avoid making goals for anything that I can't do in one sitting, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I can't, once I start focusing on something, a goal or whatever, or a task, it has to be something that I can start and finish in one sitting. If it's something that I have to put away for a while and come back to later, I have problems with that. Not really sure why or how to explain that any better. Sorry. So anyway, let's move on to the stupid, well, not stupid, but common misconceptions. Okay, go ahead. Ask me one.
Alright, first question. Are you dangerous or violent? And I have to say something before she says anything.
Go ahead.
And the reason I have to say this is because I can't be serious when I ask most of these questions. Because most of these questions downright piss me off.
Yeah, because they don't piss me off because it's not people trying to hurt our feelings.
It's people being ignorant.
Misinformed or uninformed. You know, it's not their fault that they don't know the answers to these questions. That's why we're doing this video.
I know, but some of them are just ignorant questions.
Yeah, but they're still common and we still get them.
I know.
You've gotten them, I've gotten them, you know other schizophrenics get them.
Yeah.
So, dangerous or violent? It's actually quite the opposite. Depends on the severity and the type of schizophrenia you have. If you have paranoid schizophrenia and you're going through a very severe psychotic episode, you might get violent, but that's because of the symptoms you're experiencing, not because you have schizophrenia. Schizophrenia alone does not make you violent. In fact, most schizophrenics are very calm, collected people that, you know, they have no reason to get violent, and the media is one of the main problems with schizophrenics being associated as being crazy and violent. Like shows like Law and Order or CSI or any of those police or detective shows, they always seem to want to peg schizophrenics as violent or whatever. So, yeah. But in reality, no, we're not. We're no more violent than any other person with or without schizophrenia.
Do the voices command you to do things?
Voices can say anything. We can have voices that compliment us. We can have voices that insult us. We can have voices that try to convince us of stuff. We have voices... Basically, the voices are like other people. They'll say anything. Sometimes they will command somebody to do something. Or they'll threaten somebody to make something happen if they don't do something.
Yep.
But that doesn't mean all the voices do it. No, I mean, I have voices... A very common voice with certain schizophrenics is just basically a running commentary. The voices will just talk about how you're feeling and what you're doing. Like they're trying to give a news report on what's going on in your head. That's it. So yeah, sometimes the voices can command us to do stuff, but, you know, that's just depends on what kind of voices you have.
Do you have a split personality?
No. Schizophrenia and split personality are two totally different diseases.
Yeah.
Schizophrenia is like a split mind. You have more than one reality. But in each of my realities, I'm still Catherine. I still have... My mom is still my mom. David is still David. Everything's the same. It's just I'll have delusions that other things are happening that aren't actually happening or whatever, or aren't there. But dissociative identity disorder is the split personality, and when they go into their personalities, they do have a whole different person. They have a different name, they have a different age, they sometimes have different genders, and they are unaware of their other personalities while they're in another personality. With schizophrenia, I always know who I am. I always know where I am. I know, who everybody is, stuff like that. I don't go off and become another person. Anything you want to add on that? They're just they have nothing to do with each other.
They're completely different.
Nothing to do with each other.
I'm gonna skip the next one because I
Okay.
feel awkward with that one. Shouldn't you
be in a hospital?
Yeah, and here's what I have to say on that one. Not everyone with a mental illness needs to be in a hospital.
Yeah, it's just like any
It's
other
not the 1950s.
Yeah. It's just like any other illness. There's different severities.
Yeah.
Most people with mental illness can get along just fine outside of a hospital. Yes, there are people that are severe enough that they need to be in a hospital, but that's the same with almost any kind of disease.
Yep.
Most diabetics can be out of the hospital, but occasionally they have to go in and get treated.
Yep.
Cystic fibrosis, cancer, heart disease, asthma, diabetes. It's just, it all depends on the severity and what's going on. There are times when I have to be in a hospital, yes, but like the most I usually go for is 3 to 5 days. If I'm having a very bad psychotic episode that I cannot get control of, or if I completely lose sense of reality, then yes, then I have to be in a hospital. But it's not an institutionalization thing anymore. Once they have finally come a long way with therapy and medication, most mentally ill people can lead almost normal lives. So no, we don't need to be in a hospital.
And actually, you just answered the next question.
Yeah, can you lead a normal life or get a job? For most part, yes. Yes, we can. Me and David, we have a great relationship going on. We're both severe enough that we can't get jobs, but there's plenty of schizophrenics who can. If you're on the right kind of medication and you're getting your therapy and everything's working great, no problem.
Yep.
Get a job.
Yep.
Work retail, work construction, you can go to college, you can get a degree, you can go to school, you can do just about anything anybody else can do.
Okay. Can't you just ignore the voices or tell them to shut up?
Alright, imagine this scenario. You're standing in a room, you're surrounded by about 20, 30 people, and they're all talking to you at once. Can you ignore that? Can you tell it to shut up? No. That's how it is in your head. I could have one voice going on at a time, and maybe I can't ignore that one, like especially the running commentary voices. I can ignore those for the most part. But if I have a whole slew of voices screaming at me about something, no, you can't ignore that. And it really takes away your ability to focus and concentrate, because literally it's like being surrounded by people all talking to you at once, whether they're being mean or no matter what they're saying, if they're all talking to you at once. Or if you do have one voice that's being very severe or loud, can you concentrate and focus and tell somebody to shut up when they're in your face and screaming, even if it's only one person? No, you can't. So there's no reason to believe that we can do that to our voices. Another question is, were you abused? Abuse does not lead to schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is an organic brain disorder that has to do with your neurotransmitters, with your chemicals in your brain and throughout your body that communicate and tell your brain and your body what to do. Abuse can lead to post-traumatic stress disorder, which is like dissociative identity disorder. It's a whole different disorder. PTSD and schizophrenia have nothing to do with each other. one cannot lead to the other.
But you can have both.
You can have both, yes.
Like
but,
I do.
Yes, you do. You can have both, but you can have diabetes and cancer.
Yeah.
Those two have nothing to do with each other, but that doesn't mean you can't have both.
That's true.
There you go. And then another one is, are you retarded? Or cognitively challenged, or however you want to word it. No, schizophrenia does not make a person stupid, or retarded, or cognitively disabled, or anything like that. It is a reality disease, not a intelligence disease. Now it can... What are you... Our cat is eating my paper. Don't eat my paper. See, look at that. Look at that. My cat's eating my paper. Anyway, let me read my note real quick here. Yeah, but, it can lead to, memory problems, and it can lead to concentration problems, which can emulate a learning disorder. I'm sorry, our phone decided that it ran out of disk space, so it stopped the video, so we had to erase some stuff off the phone and restart the video. So we'll just start where we left off, which was the cognitive disorders.
After that, the next question is, are you especially creative?
I've gotten that because of me being artistic.
Oh, yeah.
And honestly, creativity, like many of the other questions, creativity and schizophrenia really don't have much to do with each other.
You don't look schizophrenic.
I don't? Oh my gosh. I better go do my makeup the right way then. Because, all schizophrenics have some sort of common look. No, we don't. There is no common physical features to schizophrenics.
It's all in your head. Oh my god, it is!
It's in my head. I'm cured. Thank you for letting me know. It's all in my head. I'll never experience voices or hallucinations ever again.
Yes, it's all in my head. Of course it is.
It's a disorder in your brain, yes. One thing to mention is there are certain types of hallucinations, and one of them is called a tactile hallucination.
Tactile, olfactory. That's your nose. That's your sense of smell.
Right. Every sense that you have, all five senses can be affected by schizophrenia.
Yep. Some of the rarer ones are like olfactory is weird and really rare.
Yeah, like you can smell something that's not there.
Tactile's common yet uncommon.
The basic order that they go in is
hearing.
No, yeah, hearing, sight, tactile, smell, and taste.
Yep.
That's the order that they go in common things. Tactile is feeling. Like, I can feel like there's bugs crawling on me, or I can feel like one of the voices in my head is getting violent with me and scratching me. Or I can feel like
the worms in your blood.
Huh?
The worms in your blood.
Yes. I used to get this one a lot. I would suddenly think that there were worms inside my skin or in my blood vessels. And I would feel that, even though they're not really there. I would still feel it, though. And to me, that's real. I can't control the feeling just like I can't control the voices. I can't make the voices go away, so I can't make the worms under my skin go away. You could feel like you're on fire. You could feel like you're underwater. You could feel all sorts of stuff. So it may all be in my head originally, but that doesn't mean the rest of me is unaffected.
Yep. And one last question is, what will happen if you have kids? Will they become schizophrenic also?
There is a slightly increased chance that they can inherit schizophrenia. It is hereditary. However, it's not guaranteed. It's about 1 in every 10 kids of parents with schizophrenia get their schizophrenia. The other 9 can lead normal, completely mentally healthy lives. That's all there is to it. Your kids are not guaranteed to have it.
And we're not, and they're, based on what Scientologists.
Oh God, no.
Scientists.
Nothing against Scientology. That's not what we're talking about right now.
No, we're not even going to go there.
No, we're not going to go there.
No, scientists have figured out that the hereditariness, that's not even a word, the hereditary part of schizophrenia, bipolar, all the mental illnesses is there's a belief there's a link that is possible, but for sure they're not completely sure yet.
There might be a genetic predisposition.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
And one thing I forgot to think about earlier, but I just now thought about, I have only gotten this question once, but I want to cover it anyway. Am I contagious?
Oh, I've had that one.
You cannot catch schizophrenia from us. You could drink our blood and you will not become schizophrenic. You can breathe our breath. We can eat the same food. We can use the same cup. We can have all the sex we want. We're not contagious.
But I have good news for you.
What?
If you eat my brain, you'll get schizophrenia.
No, you won't.
I know.
No, you
I
won't.
just wanted to do that.
Mad cow disease. No, it doesn't work like that.
No, you can't transfer schizophrenia like lettuce that contains the E. coli virus.
Yeah, it's not a virus. It's not a bacterial infection. It's a syndrome. It is not contagious. I promise. We're safe. You can kiss me and hug me and yell at me and do whatever you want. You're not going to catch my mental illness. Any mental illness. Bipolar is not contagious. Depression is not contagious. Schizophrenia is not contagious. That's all we have for today, really. If you have any other questions, now is your opportunity to be judged free and ask whatever questions you want about schizophrenia in the comments below, and we will answer them. Free of judgment. Don't worry about offending us, because we've probably heard them before.
Yeah.
So, we will...
And I'll give you a high five if you come up with something we've never been asked.
Yeah, really.
It'll be a virtual high five.
We'll pin those comments. If we get a question we've never been asked before, we will pin those comments.
Alright, see you tomorrow.
Yep, bye.